As wine lovers, we all know that a glass of wine is much more than a drink. It's a whole sensory experience. Nose, colour, weight, look, feel, taste, and of course, occasion. What we don't always know are other attributes that make a difference to the wine. Its history, the winemaker, the region of origin, the viticultural philosophy, and the country and what it brings to the sensory experience. We like to think these attributes of our wines serve to create something quite special. They provide a wine drinking experience that is everything it should be on a sensory level. But there's emotion in there too. Wine that's spontaneous, exciting, and seriously good fun. Yes, it's a little bit offbeat, but maybe that's New World wine talking. To understand what we do differently with our wines, it helps to understand where we come from. New Zealand. It's the subtropical paradise of the Southern Hemisphere. It's made up of two big islands simply known as North and South, and one small island called Stewart where it's too cold for grapes. The country occupies a latitude range from 34 to 47 degrees south, the climate becoming cooler, the vegetation more sparse the further south you go. The South Island would be most recognisable to people around the world with its pristine snow-covered peaks and alluvial valleys that flow to a spectacular coastline. It's a visual sensation. It's also a winemaker's paradise with the perfect combination of cool winters, warm dry summers and vast tracts of intriguing terroir. That all contributes to outstanding wines and tastes. The South Island's best known wine region is Marlborough. It's most famous for Sauvignon Blanc, contributing 70% of New Zealand's total production annually from two valleys, the Wairau and the Awatere. Planted commercially in the 1970s, the Wairau has become the most prodigious producer of Sauvignon Blanc in the New World. Generally, Wairau soils are free-draining, gravelly silt loams based on alluvium. The climate is warm and dry through the summer, and the prevailing wind is from the northwest. In winter, the proximity to the coast brings winds that protect it from frost-bearing southerly blasts.
The climates and soils of the Wairau Valley are truly unique, and it's those synergy of all those things coming together that makes the special conditions that give us those wines. I mean, there's no other place like it in the world. I like having fruit from both valleys to work with, and on occasions, and for some of our brands, we actually do have a blend of both Awatere and Wairau, and you can get a very complex wine by putting all those different wines together from all the different sites.
Across a dividing range to the south of the Wairau lies the Awatere Valley. By comparison, the Awatere is cooler, drier, windier, and typically less fertile. This explains the lower yields and higher acid levels in the grapes. Sauvignon Blanc from the Awatere is typically racier and more herbaceous than that of the Wairau. With the harvest slightly later, it brings a mineral-like characteristic to the wine compared with the more fruit and salad flavours of a Wairau Sauvignon Blanc. The first grapes were planted here in 1986 by Peter Vavasor on his cattle farm banking the Awatere River. The first wines flowed in 1989, and today Vavasor is recognised for its pioneering contribution to the valley, for the superb quality of its wines and its breathtaking location. The winery is located in the vineyard and offers a fabulous cellar-door experience.
The Awatere Valley is a little bit different. It's a little bit more mineral and flinty, and the wines have a depth to them and perhaps more like white peach when they get really ripe. And they tend to show a little bit later, say a bit later summer the following year. And it's good to actually give those wines a little bit of time in the bottle perhaps, and they do last a long time.